Welcome to Organizational Behavior, Unit 4. We are moving right along in the course. We're already up to Unit 4. So I just want to go over a few things with you to get you prepared for this week. This week, as you can see on my screen here, we're going to cover information in Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. Chapter 7 discusses communication and interpersonal relationships. So make sure you download the PowerPoints and view those, as well as reading the entire chapter on Chapter 7. There's some really good information in here that talks about, among other things, trust, listening, building relationships, various strategies for communicating effectively. So this is a really important chapter no matter what career field you're going into. Communication with other people, whether it's customers or coworkers or supervisors, is going to be very important. After you read through Chapter 7 and view the PowerPoints, there is an assignment related to Chapter 7. You're going to read a short article on page 198 about the Mayo Clinic, and they're going to tell you some information about this organization and the communication that goes on within that company. And you're going to use the reading you've done within the chapter and the concepts we've learned about in Chapter 7 to answer 3 questions regarding the Mayo Clinic and the communication that takes place within that firm. Then from there, you also have Chapter 8 this week, which Chapter 8 focuses on cross-cultural relationships. So we're talking about Americanized ways of building relationships versus other cultures. And we do live in a big world, and business is becoming more and more international every day. With the invention of the World Wide Web, people are able to do business and communicate with those across the world from each other just as easily as people next door. So it's going to be very important in our careers to understand the differences between cultures. And that's what Chapter 8 focuses on. So as you go through Chapter 8, reading and the PowerPoints, you're going to learn some key points about international business. And at the end of the chapter, on page 230, there is an article titled Advice from the Pros, the International Employee. And this article tells you some of the traits, personality traits, that will generate a successful international employee. Everyone is not cut out for going overseas to a new country and learning a new language and conducting business there. Going on vacation to Spain is a completely different situation than uprooting, moving there, and building a career there when you've been in America all of your life. And the same thing for a Spaniard coming to America and starting a business or a career. It's completely different than being on a vacation. So there's a lot more involved and a lot more at stake. So this article will tell you some of the personality traits that will make a person successful working or doing business internationally. And what you're going to do is read through that and be able to answer the questions. But this is for our discussion. This isn't the assignment for Chapter 8. This is our discussion topic. So in the discussion area this week, we're going to talk about whether or not you feel you're personally a good candidate for working internationally, and based on the article, why you think you would or would not be a good candidate to work in another country. So that should be an interesting discussion. There is, in addition, a regular assignment from Chapter 8, and that's on pages 229 and 230, where you're going to learn about this company, Lincoln Electric, and their experience in attempting to go international. They had some problems, some challenges setting up an international location. So you're going to read about that, and based on the information that you read in the chapter and in the PowerPoints, you're going to apply that information to the 3 questions regarding Lincoln Electric and their attempts to go international. So that covers your assignment. You have an article from chapter 7, an article from chapter 8, and 3 questions for each one that you will complete for your weekly assignment. You also have an article in chapter 8 that will help you to get started on the discussion question. Now, I gave you a heads up last week that in Unit 4 there would be a quiz, and there is. You've got a quiz this week, and it does cover the first 8 chapters of the text. You're going to have 40 questions. And so once you've completed your reading, you may want to take a little time and kind of refer to the previous chapters, look through the PowerPoints again, and some of the end of chapter discussion questions to prepare yourself for the quiz. Since it is timed and you've only got 80 minutes, you want to be as prepared for that as possible before you get started. So some other things I just wanted to mention is that the mid-quarter survey will be coming out in the next week or two, so just kind of be on the lookout for that. Your opinions are very important to us, and they help the instructors and the school to keep the programs interesting and relevant, and to address any issues with your classes that a student can see maybe more clearly than someone in administration. So if you see any issues with the textbook we're using or the class formatting or scheduling, sequencing, anything related to the class itself, we welcome that feedback so that we can address any issues to make this educational experience a successful one for all of the students. Also, the this week 4, at the end of this week, I will be calculating midterm grades. So everything you've done, weeks 1 through 4, will be included in your midterm grade. And that way, sometime next week when the midterm grades come out, you'll have an idea where you stand so far. Even though it's in the grade book, you'll just kind of get a letter grade attached to that to see where you are right now. But keep in mind with these mid-quarter grades, if you had trouble getting started at the beginning or missed an assignment, there's still 7 weeks left. This is only week 4. We've still got 7 more weeks left. So there's plenty of time to be successful regardless of what your grade is at midterm. So I want to encourage you that you'll be able to see the midterm grade and see the great progress that you've made so far. But if the progress you've made so far isn't what you would have liked, you remember you've still got plenty of time to improve that as well. I'd also want to remind you guys on the discussion to make sure you're using complete sentences, correct punctuation, correct spelling, correct capitalization. All errors in any of those areas will cause you to lose some points on the discussion. Make sure that you give a complete answer to the initial discussion question, as well as giving good responses and engaging discussion with your classmates. The discussions overall have been pretty good so far, but I just want to throw that reminder out there as we go forward. If you have any questions, you can email me and always receive a response within 24 hours. I am also online from 8:30 to 10 on Monday and Tuesday evenings. If you want to chat live through Pronto, you can certainly do that. And I wish you good luck this week. If you have any questions, just drop me an email. And other than that, enjoy your reading about communication and multicultural communication that you'll be doing this week. Have a good time.